It's a crowded field in the race for the open governor's seat at the State House in Concord this year. On the Republican side, one of the candidates who appeared to have some momentum in our last Granite State poll was Manchester Mayor Ted Gatsas. He's led the Queen City since 2010 and previously served in the state Senate. He's won in a GOP field of four, along with Frank Edelblut, Jeannie Forrester, and Chris Sununu, and he joins us here today. Thanks for stopping by, Mayor Gatsas.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us why you're running for governor.
Well, I think that we can take our executive experience, our legislative experience, and our business experience to Concord and get things done. You know, I've been watching too long that there's downshifting at Concord that comes and hurts the local communities. That has to stop. There's no place for the local communities to go other than on the taxes, and we've got to find a way to stop that.
You're known as someone who gets things done, as you mentioned there. In the process, you're not afraid to ruffle some feathers or break some china. So the critique often with you is stylistic. How do you respond when your opponents refer to you as a bully?
Well, bully usually is somebody that takes your lunch money away, and I don't ever remember taking anybody's lunch money away. So I can tell you that getting people into a room and getting things done, that's how we get it done here in Manchester. That's the way I did it in the Senate, and I will continue doing it going forward.
Tell us one program at the state level that you plan to cut if you're the governor, and then one you would plan to expand.
Well, I think that when you take a look at the state, we have to take a look at the health insurance and the energy costs. Energy costs are too high here in the state of New Hampshire. If Northern Pass happens, I say that 30% of that power has to stay right here in the state of New Hampshire. We have to take a look at health insurance because that's another factor that's creating a problem for companies to come to New Hampshire. State of New Hampshire, the state employee union does not have an opt-out plan. In the city of Manchester, we pay employees $4,000 a year to opt out on health insurance. They don't have an HSA. Those are programs that we have to look at the state level and find ways to implement them to help employees and give them some personal responsibility with their health insurance.
How do you set yourself apart in this crowded field for governor on the GOP side?
Well, I can tell you all the things that we just talked about just now are things that I did in my past in a business that my brother and I started. We went into companies and took their employees over and did their health insurance, their workers' comp, did payroll, quarterlies, W-2s, and companies saved money. So all the things that we have to look at a state level that I've looked at the city level and implemented some very cost-effective ways to save money at the city level, I plan on looking at in Concord.
When you get out the calculator there, that's usually when people have to watch out, right? The opioid crisis. Ground Zero is right here in Manchester. Tell us how you would do things differently than the current governor.
Well, I would first day one, I would declare it a state of emergency. That's something we have to have everybody at the room, at the table, talking about this to find ways that we can help people because people are dying. Look, you know, there was a plan that just got rolled out by the Safe Stations program that they didn't come to me and ask for permission to do it. They went to Serenity Place. It's now next door. They're expanding the thought process that they have, and that's a good thing. People are being involved. There's almost 300 people that have come to the fire stations since May 4th. That's a wonderful program, and it's working.
Also in Manchester, you've had something where you incentivize employees to come forward with money-saving ideas. Is that something you'd like to apply at the state level?
We do that. There's no question that should be brought forward at the state level, and if people brought an idea forward and saved the state money, we should certainly reimburse them for that.
All right. Mayor Gatsas, thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you out on the campaign trail.
Thanks, Adam. You have a good one.
Thank you. And you can find all of our live interviews and the latest political news by going to WMUR.com.